Alright, what's up everybody? My name is Zelkenon. This is another wonderful episode of Smite Super Builds. So we're back with Kumbhakarna again. I think this is the third video in a row with Kumbhakarna. But he is the latest god and, the hottest thing out right now, even though he's not that attractive himself. But, so the first build I did was the a mage damage build, obviously, because it was requested before he even came out, oddly enough. So I just went ahead and did that first. So now we're going to do a tank support build, the more typical route to go as far as a guardian. But some people like to get a little, little crazy and go, mage build for tanks like Mage Ymir, Bacchus, and so on and so forth. So let's go with the items. Active. Alright, so you can use Greater Blink if you're being support role in the dual lane and Conquest, but you'd be losing out on either Eye of Providence or a Hand of Gods. In this case, if you really want Greater Blink for that initiate and then use your ulti or combo up with something else, then I'll probably try to go for Hand of Gods and then just buy wards. But if you don't like Greater Blink for him, for whatever reason, that's fine. Just stick with the typical Hand of Gods and then the Eye of Providence for Conquest. But if you're not in Conquest, you don't need either of those two, except maybe 3v3 for jungle mobs, but whatever. So typically you want to have Greater Blink. I really prefer it, and I've seen it used on the enemy team, and it works out really well for them. So it's a great active to have for Kumbhakarna. Next, Enfeebling Curse. If you get this, you're going to have the most epic CC. Just you can control the match. You control every team fight. If you have Creeper and Curse, you're 3, you're 2 to stun, and then your ulti just to knock people up and away. And then when they drop, they knock back people there. So you have a lot of CC if you get Enfeebling Curse or Weakening Curse, whatever you want. But if you don't want that as your active, you can go at, I don't know how. I've never really seen Shell used that well before. I think Girdle may be a little bit better for team fights, but it's really up to you. Maybe they have a lot of CCs. Purification means at least you have CC immunity early, so if you're fighting enemy Ares or Hades, then you have Purification means early. But with this build, as you can see, I do have the Magi's Blessing, but I get this in my last item. But before we get into that, let's go on with the beginning of the items. So Reinforced Greaves, going to go with that. You can go with cooldown boots, but what I like about Reinforced Greaves, yeah, it gives you more protection, obviously. But the passive is 30% reduced to all CC duration. So until we get Magi's Blessing, and even when it's down, you still have some CC reduction. And also, while you're not in combat, you gain a plus 26% movement speed. So that way you can move up closer to initiate than other boots. So that's why I like to get that as a tank. Then we're going to go with Bulwark of Hope. Reason why I'm going to get this as your second item and not a physical defense item is because we're going to get Breastplate of Valor. Breastplate of Valor has no HP, so you're going to go 2 items without HP. I mean, yeah, your boots have, 50 HP, but I had to pick up something that has HP early on. So if you're fighting a lot, more physicals, then obviously get Sovereignty first. If you're fighting a mix or more magical, then obviously go Bulwark of Hope. I like to pick this up as my second item. Get a bit of health, get a bit of protection, a really great passive. So then as my third item, as you've seen, Breastplate of Valor. Cooldown reduction on Kumbhakarna works really well. More so if his ulti is ridiculously low cooldown rates, especially for a Guardian. He's the most unique Guardian, probably. And then his other cooldowns get reduced, more stuns for you and more mesmerize and slow. So it works out really well having cooldown reduction. He's taking it. It works out really well having pretty nice cooldown reduction. And the combination of Breastplate of Valor and Sovereignty, if you have those two as your physical defense items, that's all you pretty much need. As you see, at level 20, we have that into our Sovereignty, and we're already at 282 physical defense. The cap for that is actually 325. So you're already really close with just 2 items. That way you don't really need that many physical defense items if you just have these two. 75, 65, that's just ridiculous amount within 2 items. And then Breastplate of Valor is fairly cheap, so it works out really well. And as you see, Sovereignty with the Aura, it also gives you an additional 20 physical and magical protection net for you and others. So I mean, it really is like 85 and then 75, just ridiculous amount of protection within 2 items. Also, the health is really nice to have, since our 3rd item did not have HP. Void Stone, really great for team fights. You can opt out with this in, if you rather have something besides that for magical defense wise. Let's say if they're really heavy on magical defense, I would definitely go Stone and Gaia with that plus 70 magical protection. Of course, the passive in HP 5 is always really great to have, sustained fights and one at a fairly cheap price. So that would be a pretty nice alternative. But I really love the aura effect of this, so your team fights just are really great for your mages, which they do pretty big amount of damage in the AoE. And then, of course, Magic's Blessings for our last item to get our HP up a little bit higher, a little bit more protection, but it's mainly for the CC reduction with the passive and the stat itself. That way you can do the things you want to do, control the fight in your favor without having to worry about getting stunned for that long or stunned at all, and slow, just general CC. So you can kind of control the fight where you want to go, and call the shots. So instead of waiting for the enemy team to waste their stuns or slows and whatnot, so that's why Magic's Blessing works really well for tanks. So it's up to you if you want to get there early. Just adjust accordingly if you're fighting all physical or magical, of course. Yeah, let's keep that in mind. So as you can see, our HP is fairly high with this build. This build it's not too pricey. It's a pretty cheap route to go. We have 3,700 HP. That's quite a bit. 23 HP 5. We have, as you saw, 282 physical defense, 218 magical defense, 40 magical power, so that's always a little, bonus to have. We get that from the Void Stone. I like how they're more precise about the attack speed now. But let's go ahead and test out a little damage. This is not a damage build, obviously, so it's not going to be too impressive. This is more for tanking, so I'm not going to do too much of this. So you get your basic there. So nothing. I love that chest pump. So badass. Okay. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm gonna do have the Golden Fury attack me a little bit so you can see how tanky that is. And of course, not everything is to scale. I would really wish they'd fix that. So we're gonna get hit 47 at a time. Not bad at all. Of course, that takes forever. Yeah. So that's that. Thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments below if you want to see any specific god either refresh, because I've had a super builds series for quite a while and there's many patches, or anything like that. Comments, concerns, questions, whatever. Feel free to let me know. I love reading your comments. So thanks again for watching. See you guys later.